Hey, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. What's she up to now? She being my initials, S-H-E. And we're coming up on a year of me actually documenting every day. And Sunday, I'll probably do a summary day because that would be actually day 365 of a year of documenting via Facebook Live, which was scary as heck a year ago. What I'm doing is I'm transitioning from the offline brick and mortar world of traditional businesses, manufacturing, retail sales, real life physical locations, to the online world of business. And I help businesses transition or not transition. I'm transitioning all the way because I want certain things in my life at this point that a physical location make it difficult for me to personally do. So I'm documenting the journey of how I do that. And I help businesses just add an online component to their business because I know and I see how powerful it is and how it's critical moving forward in order to be competitive and to create the business and the life that you want. So coming up in a year, and I'll do probably some kind of a summary thing. I might have to go back and look at a couple of my early videos because, to be honest, unless I go back and look through my notes and things, so much has happened and so much has been going on in a year. Right now I'm in the middle of this women's summit, creating the first women's summit, my first women's summit. All women business leaders and business owners sharing all about customers with new and existing business owners, because customers and what to do with customers and how to handle customers and how to get customers and how to treat them and how to deal with their experience. It's a huge topic, and it's actually the number one topic and the number one concern and question that comes up, not just for female business owners and female entrepreneurs, but for all business owners. Every business owner I talk to, somehow we get around to, I need more sales. Well, sales come from customers, right? Or we need more cash flow. Well, cash flow comes from more customers. And it's not always more. Maybe it's different or better or the best customers for you and your business. So we always think that we want more customers, but I will tell you from personal experience, more is not always better. More is sometimes worse. One of my biggest customer lessons learned was in the Italian food manufacturing business, I had to actually fire and let go of our number one customer. And we were a business to business organization. So we sold to other businesses, and I had to let our biggest chain, which represented about 80% of our sales, I had to let that customer go. And it was one of the scariest things I've ever done. It was also one of the smartest things that I ever did. In about 2 months, we made up that income with customers that were right for us, instead of dealing with a customer that not only was 80% of our sales, they were about 95% of our energy and experience and stress and strain and employee turmoil and struggles. And so when we let go of that 95%, it opened up the floodgates and made it possible for us to serve new customers better, faster, easier, more efficiently, and more effectively than ever before, because we weren't dealing with the 95% of the attention that was going to the one customer that, yeah, they represented a huge part of our sales, but they also represented so many of our problems that by letting them go, we were able to serve the ideal customers, the right customers for us, much, much better. So I don't even know how I got on that tangent. Oh, because we're talking about customers for the Women's Summit. So the only way we have a business is if we have customers, right? And what I'm trying to help people understand in this, and I know we know it intuitively, but we don't always do it in our businesses. And I think that we did a really good job in the Italian food manufacturing business, knowing that we weren't always out looking for new customers. I mean, it was really hard to do business with our business because you basically had to get through me, and I was the bottleneck. And if you weren't a fit after, and it was only after we let this one customer go that I started that process of really vetting people and deciding if we were going to offer our products and services to them and their customers at all, because we had learned the lesson. We learned the lesson. I think everybody has to have that one customer that isn't right for them in order to learn the lesson. And sometimes it's a really painful, scary lesson. It was a very painful, scary lesson. And it wasn't, once we did it, it was the year and a half leading up to making the decision to let them go that was the scary time. But once we made the decision, everything fell into place. But I think we almost all need to experience that customer, that one customer at least, that isn't right for us, because it's kind of like getting your heart broken and falling in love and finding the person that is right for you. You have to go through several people, and sometimes you have to have your heart broken. You can watch sad romantic movies and see the heartbreak of other people. You can watch people in your life have heartbreak and their experiences. But until you experience it yourself, you don't really experience it. You don't get it. And, it's like when somebody dies that's close to you. Until you have somebody really close to you actually die, you don't understand or you don't get it. You can kind of empathize, but you really don't understand. One of my favorite gurus is Russell Brunson, and he was on stage at Funnel Hacking Live last year talking about how building a business and being an entrepreneur is like having a baby. And I gotta tell you, I love Russell, but that is not the analogy he should use. Now, he should talk about how he and his wife had trouble having their babies at first, having the twins at first. That's a story he can tell. But about the difficulty and the comparison of having a baby, maybe raising children. But again, he's got a wife and a spouse, so but he compared it to like childbirth and that. And I'm like, you can't make that comparison because it's something that you've never been through. Now, the guys in the audience probably thought the comparison, it was in the simile, not simile, but the analogy was fine. But for those of us that have had children, have gone through childbirth, yeah, it is the same, but we get that. But I don't think that he actually understands that. So I think you lose credibility if you use examples of experiences that you have not personally been through. Now, that's just my opinion. I also think that it's hard to coach people on things that you haven't yourself done. But there are a lot of coaches, and I get the argument, you don't have to be an Olympic athlete to coach Olympic athletes. I get that. I understand that because it's more about the mindset and the things that you need to do than it is about actually physically doing the thing that you're teaching people. But I also think that there's certain areas that you coach and teach people about that you need to have firsthand experience in. I would never listen to marketing advice from anyone that hasn't done any marketing themselves. Before I got involved with online marketing, I virtually did no marketing. For our Italian food business, we didn't do marketing. It was all word of mouth, and it was all you had to come to us and like our products and ask for permission to actually sell them in your business. And it was a process. It was a qualifying process. And we said no to a lot more people than we ever said yes to. And it's not about arrogance or thinking that our products were too good for people. It's knowing what the right fit was and if they would value the relationship or not. And if somebody wasn't going to value the relationship and what we brought to the table, then we weren't going to get into that business. We were never going to compete solely on price because it's a race to the bottom when your only competitive block or bargaining chip is racing to the bottom on price. So learned a lot about that, but customers are such an important topic, and choosing and making sure that you're working with the right people is so critical. And until you work with the wrong people, I don't think you necessarily know who the right people are for you. And I think who the right people are, who the right customers are for you changes over time as your business evolves and changes, as you get better and better at what it is that you want to do in your genius zone and what you want to provide for people in terms of products or services. I think that as you evolve, your customers evolve as well. As we ascend and grow and become better human beings, our customers come on that journey right along with us. And that's part of why I'm documenting this journey, is I want to bring you right along with me as I am learning and growing and transitioning. And I hope that you learn and don't make the same mistakes that I do. Believe me, there's plenty of mistakes to be made out there. You can figure out mistakes of your own to make. But if I can save you from making just one mistake that I've made so that you don't have to do it, I know that that will help you and shortcut your process. I wish I had somebody that I had been following through this part of my journey. And I've been following some gurus, but part of my challenge has been knowing who to follow, who to listen to in different categories and not getting distracted and off track. And I will say last year was a huge year of me being distracted and off track in terms of who I listen to and who I follow. This year, this year is going to be all about me following my own path and my own track. Now, the scary thing about that is I've known for a couple of decades, not just a couple of years, a couple of decades, that that is what I need to do. I know that I am here to share a message with the world, my message, not anybody else's message, not a copy of anybody else's message. I am here to provide and to speak to certain people on the planet that need to know what it is that I have to offer and I have to say, and the lessons that I've learned and how that can impact them. There's a whole group of those people that I need to reach, and they're different than anyone else on the planet. I might be, say I was a life coach. I'm not a life coach, by the way, but if I were a life coach, how many thousands or tens of thousands of life coaches are there on the planet right now? I don't know. I have never looked at that industry, but let's say there's 10,000 life coaches on the planet. Guess what? There's 8 billion people on the planet. So there are plenty of people for each of those 10,000 life coaches to reach and impact and make the world a better place. Same with me. I know I've got my unique message, my special message. What I'm here to share with the world is different than anybody else's. And it's a matter of really honing in on it and figuring out who I want to work with, who I want to present that message to, who I want to share that message to, kind of like the Italian food business. Once I discovered that everyone didn't eat ravioli, didn't love handmade Italian food, and got over myself and over my belief that everybody should love it and everybody should eat it, once I got that rude egotistical awakening, which, you know, it's so ridiculous to think that everyone would ever want any of our products, everyone does not love us. Everyone does not like us. There's lots of people that we drive batshit crazy, right? I drive a lot of people crazy, and that's okay. You're not the people that I'm here to help. You're not the people I'm here to reach. You're not the people I'm here to serve. So just ignore me. And it used to really irritate me, and I just ignore it when people get online in social media or even in real life and argue about politics or religion or any topic for that matter, especially topics that they have zero firsthand information on. It's just opinions and beliefs that they've gotten from other people or the media. The media is the worst. Talk about a brainwashing mechanism for the masses. But now I actually get a kick out of it and I laugh. I'll see somebody will post something political and then just the venom that comes out of people, like other people don't see that. And I think people forget and I know, I remember seeing it in social media. People would say things in emails and write things that they would never say to your face. They would never say to your face, you know, some of the things that people would put in emails. Social media has taken that to a whole new level and exponentially supersized in a negative way that behavior in some human beings. But remember, it's just like anything else. It's a magnifier. And so it just shows the world faster who you really are. So if you say something, frankly, that's stupid or mean or a-hole-ish in social media, you're going to be found out and it's going to spread like wildfire. People have always been doing that. Human beings are human beings. The nature and the behavior of human beings really has not changed all that much. It's just the lights have been shown on this behavior. It's like, as far as, and I'm not going to say about diseases, because I'm sure certain types of diseases are more rampant than they were because of the way we eat, the environment, the things that we have, the chemicals all those things that we subject ourselves to that people in the past didn't when they lived a simpler, more farm-oriented agricultural lifestyle. But the point is, we now know about these things so much more. I mean, because of news, because of the media, because of the internet. And I love the internet. I love it. But I also know that we can't let things that happen that are blown up in the media, the negative things, negatively impact us when they really don't impact us at all. A tsunami in another part of the world, it's a terrible thing. But are we going to be stressed out and worried and fearful about that? I live in Wisconsin. We're never going to have a tsunami in Wisconsin, right? So I spend no time. I mean, I send love and light to the people that were harmed and that are suffering because of that event, but I don't spend any time worrying or fretting or feeling bad about that event. And I think a lot of people do. A lot of people allow the world around them to determine how they're going to feel and how they're going to react to things. And if you do that, then the world is living your life. The media is living your life. Something outside of you is living your life. Your spouse is living your life for you and telling you how to live. And I don't think anybody should live that way. I think we all need to take back more control of our lives and live the life that we're here to live, not the life that anybody else thinks that we should live. So working on that today. Got a couple awesome interviews for the Women's Summit today. I'm excited about those. Every day is so much fun when I get to do these interviews. There's a whole lot of pieces I need to get together. I'm collecting all of the assets and I need to put them together for the summit. And come hell or high water, it's going to be done. It will launch on the 29th. So it might not be perfect, but it will be there and it will launch and it's going to be fun. And I am really excited about the impact that it can make on other women, because a lot of the discussions that we've been having, there's so many nuggets and there's so many things I'm learning just by doing the interviews, things that I didn't even think about or realize that make a huge impact on people, and our ability to impact people and connect with them more quickly and easily, things I never would have thought of. The power of music, the power of photography, and using the right pictures to convey the message and the emotion that you want. I'm like everybody else right now. I just hodgepodge grab stuff and post it on social media, but there's a lot smarter way to do that. There's a lot better way to do that. There's a better way to reach the people that you want to reach by providing consistent messaging and things. So I personally am learning so much, and I know that all the women that participate and listen to this summit, and it's free, so why wouldn't you listen to the parts that are of interest to you? And I would challenge women to listen to the parts that they're like, they hadn't even thought about, because those are the ones that have been the most eye-opening to me, are like, I never even thought about music being a huge vibrational connector and an instant change, shift change, mood or shift or emotional shifter and connector. Because I used to love music when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, I valued quiet time more than music. So I stopped listening to music, and I forgot how powerful it is in making an immediate shift in our state. That's what I'm trying to say, our state change. If you're in a bad mood, listen to some good, happy music, or music that makes you feel good and happy. Sorry about that. It's one of the, means I'm talking too much. It's one of the fastest, easiest ways to make a shift change or a state change or an emotional change and get a different result. All right, that's it. Go out, make it a great day, an absolutely terrific day. It is every day above ground's a good day, right? So enjoy it, embrace it, go out, be you. I love to say, and I haven't said it for a while, I write it once in a while, but be loving, love being, be you. I think that has been kind of my mantra for about the last 5 years, because it sort of sums up what I'm all about. I want to be loving toward other people. I want to give love to other people, and I want to treat them the way that I want to be treated. I want to love being. I want to love my life and existing and just being me in the moment. And that, of course, leads to the be you. And I say be you a lot. Whenever anybody asks for, a piece of advice, it's always be you, be yourself. You are enough. You are exactly perfect the way you are. And the only person you're ever going to compete against is you. So always be becoming a better version of you, but always be yourself, because the world needs more of that. So go out, be loving, love being, be you. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.